Aloha, it's Dave Lawrence. How are you? Hope you're doing good. I appreciate you tuning in for this. Today we're hearing about a big Valley Isle funk show. Some legendary artists. Funk to End of the World is happening on Maui. Camp K&I, December 21st and 22nd. The promoters have creatively played on the End of the World theme, of course, widely discussed in the news, helping to drop a bit of funk into the apocalypse. A wide range of artists playing live, DJ Logic, George Porter Jr.'s running partners, the Monophonics, many others, including our guest today, gifted son of Aaron Neville, one of the Neville Brothers, certified American treasure, and we bow to his father, a monster. My guest has himself released solo records, played and recorded with the Nevilles, Meters, been part of Bonnie Raitt's band, added keyboards to 2 Rolling Stones records. How does one do that in their lifetime? Keith Richards, Expensive Winos, all kinds of good things, recording with B.B. King. Dumpstaphunk is the band that attracts rock and funk legends, kind of like the way the Meters does. It's a great pleasure to welcome this modern-day funk warrior. Dirty Word, I believe, is the forthcoming album in taking the Neville name into the future. Ivan Neville, aloha, mahalo, my brother.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
You are quite welcome. It's a great pleasure, and as you can tell, I'm a fan. Love your family. Give mad props.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mad props to you. I know you do. You're a solid brother. I hear so many nice things about you. You're vetted well, my friend. And
that's very cool.
I send your father huge, warm aloha. Make sure you do that on behalf of us.
Absolutely.
Okay, that means a lot. And the funk coming up to the End of the World theme for folks who may be on the edge of going there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of something that came together pretty quickly. Obviously, everybody's wondering, it's kind of where are you going to be on December 21st, kind of thing, because that's like the supposed the day of reckoning, the day of of change of consciousness and all this stuff, according to the Mayan calendar and whatnot. So a lot of people I had people asking me, where are you going to be on December 21st? So now I'm going to be in Hawaii, which is not bad by me, with a group of friends that are all fellow musicians, and we're going to be over there playing, laying some grooves down and whatnot. So that's pretty much, what I know about it, and I'm looking forward to it,
Now, when you think about the set that one would perform on the last day on Earth, so to speak, does it require, is that a different sort of set list? I'm thinking it might be.
See, I didn't think of it that way. See, I didn't really think of it hard like that. So, that being said, wow. I don't know. You might want to play. Oh, man.
You got a bit of responsibility
You
there.
know what? I tell you what, whatever we do play, it's going to be, I give 110% every night. So, obviously, it's in the back of your mind that this is a day that supposedly, what it is the last day. But that being said, every time I get on stage, and I can speak for myself, and I know the guys that I play with I'm sure they feel the same way, that when we play, I give 110%. And I pretty much play like it's my last time playing. I try to put that much effort into it, or that much heart and soul into it, because I'm blessed to get to do that to begin with. So other than it actually literally being December 21st, which maybe consciously it may be on my mind a little bit, it's in a sort of extra little something in there as well. So instead of 110%, it may be maybe a little couple extra little notches in there.
Like
125,
That's what I was thinking, 125.
Like that, it may be a little extra up in there, and I always bring it, because that's what you're blessed to get to do that to begin with. To be a musician is a blessing. You get to do something that you love. And that's your job. So that right there, the way you give back is you give your all every time you go up there, and no matter what. So that's just the way I see it. So it's just going to be a little extra, I guess, on December 21st.
Is there some of that sense of give back and kind of the way that you approach the gig? How much of that is a transfer down through the Neville legacy? Where did you pick that up from?
I just look at it like I've been fortunate enough to have played a lot of different styles of music with a lot of different people and a lot of legendary people. So to me, I've been blessed to get to do that. I've been blessed coming from his family with all these musicians, the Neville Brothers, being akin to that and being akin to the meters and all that stuff coming from that, and then going off on my own and getting to play with people like Bonnie Raitt, Robbie Robertson, the Rolling Stones, Keith's my boy, stuff like that. I mean, that's a blessing. That is a blessing. So when I get to play, I'm giving back. I'm showing my appreciation for what I get to do. So I want to give it all. And whoever's there while it's going down, they're giving me something. So it's like a trade-off,
I totally get that. One of the things, I guess, that I think is fascinating, I've never gotten to talk to anybody in your family before, but I've been privileged to talk to a lot of the Marleys. I know Ziggy and gotten to know him through years of just doing stuff, and I've talked with Steven and Kimani, and their father's not here, and they're carrying a legacy, and there's probably times in all three of their lives where pressure is part of the equation because there's a lot of responsibility, I guess. It's kind of like heavy duty.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that, obviously those guys, that man, their father, this guy influenced, generations. That guy's influenced everybody, that under the sun. So that does probably come with a little bit more of a responsibility. But maybe those guys don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. I can't speak for them, but I know coming from where I come from, I just do what I do, and I get to do this. I'm blessed to get to do this, to be able to do this. So right there, the responsibility lies, as far as I'm concerned, in just doing your best, just giving it your best.
Is your dad a big fan?
I would probably think he is. Yeah, he digs what I do. He knows what I do. He knows I got my own. I went and kind of carved my own little thing. Out of where with the whole Neville scheme, I kind of went and did my own thing. And I kind of put a little pieces of all of the influences from all of those guys, and I kind of made my own little thing out of it. And he absolutely he appreciates that. He likes that that I'm somewhat kind of my own guy,
Totally. And that's what I guess is the neat thing is, I guess the blessing, a lot of the blessing for all of you cats with a family name that's so righteous is there is pressure, but there's also a lot to be proud of. It's a mix of different things, I guess, that come with being a Neville or being a Marley or something like that. I was wondering if any of your family connections, like James Hutch Hutchinson, who lives over on Maui.
Oh, Hutch.
Did that have any influence?
Hutch is my partner. Well, see, Hutch used to play with the Brothers.
Exactly.
Back when I first started playing with the Brothers, Hutch was in the band. Hutch played with the Neville Brothers in the late 70s, around 70, 78, 79, something like that. Hutch was in the band with the Neville Brothers, and he and I were bandmates. And then he moved to California, and he soon, very 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 soon thereafter, he became a member of Bonnie Raitt's band, and I had moved to California myself as well, around in the early, and there, I ended up playing with Bonnie as well, and Hutch was a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
He was a huge part of that, and he and I were bandmates with Bonnie for a few years until I left. I left the band and went on to do my own stuff and other things, and he's still with Bonnie all those years.
Do you?
Still with her.
So he had nothing to do. It's just a mere coincidence that you're doing this on Maui, and that's where he's based.
That's totally a coincidence, and it's a beautiful thing because I have been in touch with him, and I think he said he is going to be there during that time. So we're definitely going to connect. I
like that. Well, that's what a nice coincidence. Isn't that weird? That's
absolutely.
That's just crazy talk right there, but I love it.
That's funny.
Aside from your family, Brother Ivan, what were some of the big bands or musicians that you idolized as a teenager that you think, now that you're looking back, really played a role in influencing your life direction? As
a kid coming up, wanting to play, getting into music, and even before I was deciding to be a musician, I loved Sly and the Family Stone. I loved what they did. The fact that they were playing this funky mix of, it was kind of some funky rock and roll, It was like, to me, it mixed with gospel. It was like funk, rock, gospel, blues, all mixed into one, and it had a multi racial, multi-gender band. You know, there were women, there were guys, there were white guys, black guys, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge, that made an impact on me when I first heard and then saw them on TV and whatnot, Sly and the Family Stone. That was huge. And obviously the Jackson 5 was a major hit to me. You know, seeing them similar in age. They were older than myself, but being a kid and seeing, you know, these other kids, that was huge to anybody growing up in that time. And obviously there was a lot of other music that I really dug, you know, Curtis Mayfield, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, all that stuff. And a lot of the music of the early 70s was strong, was very strong. And that kind of stuff, you can hear some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
In what we do with the Dumpstaphunk, you know, band, you know, so.
Yeah, you can totally hear that. That's a good point on the Jacksons, because that's also a musical family sort of thing. Did you ever connect with any of them?
I absolutely connected with it. I remember watching it as a kid. I remember being a little boy watching, you know, with the family, watching on Ed Sullivan show, watching them come on TV, you know. I guess I'm showing my age a little bit, but I'm proud of it. There you go.
Never got
yes, indeed.
Never got to interact with Michael.
No, I never met Michael. The closest I ever came to is I knew some guys that played in their band and stuff like that, but that's about it. I never met Michael. And, you know, he was a major influence on everybody that I know that came up and, you know, saw them perform. It was amazing. So, you know, that was a good time for me. That was a good time to listen to music, and that stuff stuck with you. So, anybody that's, you know, that heard firsthand the music of the early 70s was obviously influenced by it.
Well, when you listen to your sound, Dumpstaphunk have a sound that is, for anyone who's a hardcore funk fan, you kind of bring funk into the future. You do it in a way that's very accessible for older folks, maybe, to get into newer bands. And it makes one wonder, because I listen to that super nasty, dirty, mean funk that you guys laid down, and it is so uncanny how you've been able to position this band as this like new force, almost like a Ohio Players of the future is what it reminds me of in so many ways.
That's very cool you say that. Yeah, I love that band as well. I love the Ohio Players, and yeah, you know what? We're just trying to figure out ways to just express ourselves musically without, you know, I mean, obviously a lot of things that you play and that you come up with is borrowed, you know, a lot of stuff you're influenced by stuff. And there's not many original ideas anymore because a lot of stuff's already been played, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of borrow stuff, and you borrow ideas, and they turn into your own, and you reinterpret them, you know, and that's basically what we do. And we mix it all up. We mix the rock influence, the heavy funk influence, the blues, the gospel influence, and it all kind of comes out the way we do it now. And then when we formed as a band, we kind of came in around the time of this band really started playing around. We first played in 2003, but we really became a full-time band around 04, 05, more like 05. So that was the year of Katrina. So, you know, we were around on a scene that was had already emerged. They had already become this strong scene of music lovers. And some people, I don't know, they some aspects of the jam band scene, and just this whole music loving community, and it's not like it's anti-mainstream, but you don't have to be like some mainstream popular thing to be appreciated and loved by this group of music lovers, you know. And they're all over the place, and we kind of embrace that. We embrace that and figure out, okay, we got an audience to play to, and people that appreciate some music, so let's do this, you know. That's basically it.
You mentioned New Orleans. Great story, I'm assuming. Tell us the story about getting to play the tribute to fellow New Orleans musician Fats Domino and doing it with B.B. King.
Oh, that was, that had come about some guys that were that were repping affiliated with the Tipitinas Foundation. That's whose baby this was. There was a couple of guys, Adam Shipley and a guy named Bill Taylor. Those guys were the ones that were big in this project, and they got a bunch of different artists to perform with Fats. To perform
tributes.
Fats Domino. It was pretty much doing Fats Domino songs.
Covering
That's what it was all about. It was a tribute to Fats Domino, and we were honored that we even got called to be a part of it. And it was collabs with New Orleans artists, collabs with other major artists like Tom Petty and Elton John and Robert Plant, to name a few. And B.B. King was on the list. And so we got to be the band that played a song and collaborated with B.B. King. And that was absolutely an amazing experience. The fact that we did the track, we came up with this little funky version of, I think it was Going Home. The song was Going Home by Fats Domino. And we did our part, and they sent the track. Somebody flew out to Vegas with the track. And BB played on it and sang on it, and then I heard it. I'm like, wow, we played with BB King, That was the gist of it. I mean, that's the way a lot of music's made in this day and age. But it's a beautiful thing because when you hear it, it's like, wow, Dumpstaphunk with BB King.
Hello.
Another blessing, another something to be grateful for,
Gigantic, brother. I'm high-fiving you on that. That's so huge. It's not even funny. How'd you get to do the Stones gig? Share a story with us about what it was like working with them.
Well, I had played with Keith. I mean, obviously the Meters opened up for the Stones in '75 on a European tour, and that's the first connection. And obviously, the Stones are fans of good music, so they always liked the New Orleans sound and stuff like that, and old New Orleans rock and roll and shit like that. So it just so happened that I ended up playing I ended up in New York this was years ago. This is in the early 80s, 83, 84. I was in New York. Matter of fact, I was touring with Bonnie Raitt, and the Stones were recording a record. The name of the record is called Dirty Work. Mm-hmm. And it was, I played bass. I played bass on a song, and I sang backup vocals on one or two songs. And that was on this record. And that was the first thing I had ever done with them. And then I ended up playing with Keith Richards. Keith formed a band called the Expensive Winos, and I was a member of that band. And we did a couple of records, few tours. Did a live thing. We live at the Hollywood Palladium that was released as well. And I ended up playing on a couple. I played on Voodoo Lounge. I played on, So I mean that obviously a dream come true for any musician. Doing what we do, you get to play with people like that. I mean, another blessing, another opportunity. Had a fun time. Believe me, had some fun. They're out doing it now. They're doing the 50-year thing now. I heard they just played the other night in Jersey or something, and had a great time playing. And they're gonna be playing some more shows. Keith's birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. I think next week Keith's birthday. So yeah, I applaud them, and them dudes have been around for a long time, and I'm glad to have had the honor, had the pleasure to play with the Rolling Stones. What a treat. What a thing to say that, wow, that's one of my credits. It's one of my, on my resume, who you play with? Oh, I play with a few people, and I play with the Stones. That's a cool thing to be able to say, so another blessing,
And the Expensive Winos thing says a lot. I mean, Keith must have really bonded with you to feel comfortable.
Yeah, that was a great band. I so hope that band can play together once more. I really do. You never know. But right now, I'm doing the Dumpstaphunk. T's doing the Stones. And everybody's trying to do what they got to do,
I'm proud of you, my brother. Your pop's not coming to this show, is he, in Maui?
He'll be doing something else. He'll be somewhere playing somewhere. He's got a little Christmas tour he does. Starts up at the beginning of December. He's probably still out now performing, and yeah.
How hard is he to do a phoner with?
He probably get it. You probably got to go through channels to get him. You know, you got to go through his
He's
phone.
tough.
Yeah, I probably could put in a good word for you, though. You know,
I would appreciate it, dude. That would be sweet of you.
No doubt.
And let's stay in touch, because if you guys aren't stopping in Honolulu, are you on the way to Maui?
I think we're just going into Maui. We're going to Maui the day before we're playing the gig, and then I think we leave.
Yep.
Some of the people are staying a couple of days extra, maybe, but I'm getting out. I'm getting out of here pretty
I know how it
quick.
goes. I know how it goes. Well, look, man, I appreciate getting to powwow with you. I hope this wasn't a hassle.
Thank you very much, man. My pleasure.
Ivan, I give you a hug, man. You're a very cooperative gentleman. I love your family.
Thank you very much.
I love what you do. Have a wonderful time in our state, and you stay in touch, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
You too. Aloha, brother.
All right.
Bye.
All right, man.